Hello, welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and we're going to continue our little series at this time looking at verb tenses. This week we're looking at present, past, and future simple verb tenses. So today, specifically, we're going to be looking at the past simple. All right, I will show you the form, and then I will be talking about different uses, the different purposes of using the past simple, and you, the student, will all get an opportunity to practice creating your own sentences that reflect that particular use or purpose. That's the game plan, so let me start off by welcoming students to the class. Hello, Tatiana, how are you?
Hello, Claire. I am fine. When I go to weekly lesson, I always have good mood. And
Oh, okay, that's
how are
good.
you?
I'm good enough. I do this for work, so I can't get quite so enthusiastic as you do. So not quite as happy as you are, but happy enough. Okay, fair enough. All right. Anyway, let me also welcome Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hello, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Glad to see you. Uh,
Yeah,
Back in class. That's great. All right. Help me struggle with the grammar. Appreciate your support, Christian. Thank you very much. All right. Let's do it. Let's do battle. Let's do battle with grammar. Woo! Okay. I'm going to do a little screen share and let's talk about the old simple past. All right. The form, first of all. With regular verbs, we simply take the base form of the verb and add ed. And then, of course, we have irregular verbs in English where it won't work to just add ed. The words are often spelled differently. Things like swim. The present tense is swim. Past tense is swam. Past participle is swum. That's an example of an irregular verb. Irregular verbs, I don't know how many there are, 150 or so, but in any case, they are the most commonly used verbs are quite often irregular verbs, actually. Anyway, the past simple looks like this in a sentence. You, the subject noun, called, notice the base verb call plus ed, Debbie, object noun. Pretty straightforward. Means that it happened in the past. In a question, and the negative sentences, we need to use an auxiliary or helper verb, did. Notice that in the question form and as well in the negative form, did is what expresses the past. So, did you call Debbie? Not did you called Debbie. You do not use the ed in questions or in negatives. The did does the job of describing the verb tense, I guess you could say. Notice, as always, the first auxiliary of any verb tense in a question will be used at the beginning of the question, reversed or transposed with the subject noun. Did you call Debbie? There it is. And finally, in the negative, did not call. Okay, not will follow the first auxiliary. It is normal for English speakers to use the contracted form, which, of course, is didn't. Most native speakers would say you didn't call Debbie. And that's it. Once again, did and call, did not called Debbie. All right. Okay, let's start looking at uses, and then you guys can practice making sentences. Let me first welcome Hajar to the class. Hello, Hajar.
Hello, teacher. How are
Hi.
you doing?
I'm doing
Yes.
fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Great, glad to hear it. Okay, use number one, the most common use, normal, practical use, is to describe a completed action in the past. As in the diagram, it is finished, done, over. It has no relationship to the present. If it did have a relationship to the present, we would have to use present perfect tense. Okay. The idea that an action started and finished in the past. It's over. Okay. Sometimes the speaker may not actually mention the specific time. That's actually quite normal. But the speaker probably has a specific time in their mind as they say it. Okay, some examples. I saw a movie yesterday. All right, you're finished. You're done. I didn't see a play yesterday. Okay. Last year, I traveled to Japan. All right, the trip is finished. Okay, now, one thing to note here with this simple use. Last year, I traveled to Japan. Because you're using a specific time, yesterday, last year, last night, if you use a specific time, which is clearly over, that time is done, it's in the past, you have to use past simple. You don't need to. I could just say I traveled to Japan. Nothing wrong with that. But the idea I'm trying to convey to you is that this trip is over. I could use I have traveled to Japan with the present perfect tense, and now I'm trying to convey a different idea to you. I'm trying to convey the idea that I have experienced it and I may actually go to Japan again. It has some relationship to now or even the future. If I just use simple past, I'm really emphasizing the fact that this is finished, completed. The whole idea of finished or completed is essential to this use of the verb tense. Okay, did you have dinner last night? Don't be shy about using time words and phrases because it helps clarify the meaning in English, by the way. It makes it clearer. All right, did you have dinner last night? All right, she washed her car. All right, notice no time phrase. Okay, I'm emphasizing the fact it's obvious from this information that the start and finish are in the past, it's done. And negative, he didn't wash his car. Okay, using these as an example, talk to me about a finished action. Tatiana, go ahead and you can give me, do whatever you want. You can try a question, you can try a negative, you can a straightforward statement, whatever you'd like.
My friend had a birthday yesterday.
Okay. Perfect.
Did your friend have a birthday yesterday?
Oh, you're giving me all of them. Okay. All right. Did your friend have a birthday? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yesterday. And
Right.
my friend didn't have a birthday yesterday.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you. All right. All three as an example. Super. Okay. Christian, you don't have to give me all three examples, negative, question, and positive. Just whatever you'd like to do, but just go ahead and give me one sentence.
Okay, about the movies. Did you like the movie yesterday?
Okay, did you like the movie?
And
Yeah,
another one example, were you happy yesterday?
okay. Ah, were. Okay, were you?
Happy yesterday. Yes, for example, yeah. He's
Yeah,
working, no?
it is working. Okay, I'm glad you did that actually. All right, were you happy yesterday? Notice I do not have did here. Okay, that's because it's the verb to be. I nearly forgot to mention that in the verb to be. Okay, we were tired yesterday. I was tired yesterday. Okay, I'm going to use the past tense forms of the verb to be to form the past simple. And when we use it in a question, we don't, with the verb to be specifically, we don't need did. With any other verb, you do need did. So,
Okay.
okay, I'm glad you did that. Okay, and negative, we weren't happy yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, like that. Again, I don't need did in a negative. All right, Hajar, you want to give me an example of a finished action in the past with a past simple?
My brothers finished his school last month.
I'm sorry, one more time.
My brother finished his school last month.
Okay. Whoops. I misspelled school. How terrible. Okay. My brother, singular, finished school. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My brother finished his school last month. That's fine. Okay. Important point here. Okay. What? Okay. Hang on. Let me think here. Okay. Last year. All right. Okay. I'll think of it later. I think it's later in the lesson. Never mind. Cancel that thought. Let's move on. Plenty of other things to do here. Use number two. It can be used to talk about a series of completed actions as a list. Okay. All right. This series of actions, we do this when the series of actions happen. First thing happened first, and then the second thing happened second, and the third thing happened third. For example, I finished work, walked to the beach, found a nice place to swim. Okay, could be two things, three things, four things. It doesn't really matter. We could make it very obvious the order by listing the time, such as the next example here. He arrived from the airport at 8, checked into the hotel at 9, and met the others at 10. Notice my intonation when I read these. I have to use listing intonation. I have to go up, and down. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. And low on the last one. All right, in a question form, did you add flour, pour in the milk, and then add the eggs? Here I can't really go down because it's a question, so I'm forced. It's a yes/no question. I'm forced to go up. All right, it is implied because of the order that you would add the flour first, then pour in the milk, then add the eggs. You could say it that way. Did you add flour, then pour in the milk, then add the eggs? If you say it with then you're particularly curious if the person actually followed the correct order. You're emphasizing it. Okay. Now, it's perfectly normal to do this. And, Okay, if we do this in this way, basically as a list, then this is great. This works out fine. In other cases where you're using subordinators, you may be forced to use the past perfect tense. But if it's simple like this, okay, then it describes this this particular graph. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Let's try it out. Tatiana?
I don't understand. Is it negative, positive, or question?
You can do whatever you want. You can create a negative, a positive, or question.
Okay,
But basically, we're just trying to show a series of completed actions.
I see. Did you put on your suit your shoe? Put on your shoes and put your socks.
Yeah, which comes first, shoes or socks? Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Oh, put on your socks, then your shoes, right?
Okay.
We can't have shoes before the socks. Silly me. Okay. Put on your shoes. Yeah, we have to go in the right order, so shoes has to be last. Okay. That's a question. Sorry. Did you put on your suit, put on your socks, and put on your shoes? Okay. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a correct sentence. You might, instead of repeating the verb over and over, you might just say, did you put on your suit, your socks, and your shoes? You don't really need to repeat the verb in English. You can just have one verb and then 3 object nouns. That's okay. That's perfectly okay to do that. Or you could say it this way. This is not wrong either. Perhaps this way is even clearer that you're talking about the order. So, okay. That's the idea. All right. Okay, notice in all of these, I finished work. The subject noun is I. I don't have a new subject noun. All right, it's the sentence. If you're dissecting it, it's S subject, V. Okay, subject, verb, verb, verb. I'm not adding a new subject. If I'm going to add a new subject, that's the time when I'm going to be forced to use past perfect tense. Okay. Christian.
Yes.
Here to give it a try.
Yeah. Did you like the grammar? Grammar is essential for understanding, to understand the language. Did you like the grammar?
Oh, the grammar.
The grammar, yes.
Okay.
Grammar is essential, for example, and.
Okay. What? I'm confused. Did you like the grammar? Is that the end? Am I continuing the sentence?
Yes, grammar is essential.
It's a different sentence?
Yes, a different sentence. Grammar is essential to understand English, for example.
Okay. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your sentences, but we were trying to accomplish using a series of events.
Yeah.
Actions. So, not sure. Not sure how that doesn't really fit what we're trying to do here. Okay. Trying to have you give me an example like this. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. Or I did this, I did that, and then I did this. Like that.
Did you finish your work yesterday at 8 o'clock or something? Did you finish it?
Okay.
Your work at 8 o'clock, for example.
Okay. And then another one, maybe.
I take my car to go home.
Okay. Take, past tense.
Taken? No.
No, just take your car.
Take your car to go home or
All
to
right.
drive.
All right. Okay. Okay. And maybe one more. Doesn't matter. Can be. Okay. Doesn't matter. It could. That could be it. Can be two things. It can be three things. If it's two things, then you're going to connect those two things with and, like this.
Okay.
All right. Did you finish work at 8 and take your car to drive home? To drive me. Whoops. Drive home. Where's the home part? Okay. All right. Oops. Okay. All right. All right. That's fine. Did you finish work at 8 and take your car to drive home? Okay. All right. So the idea that you finished work and then took your car. Now notice that. Okay. The verbs. Okay. Since it's in a question, did you add, pour, add? Okay. They're in the base form, present tense form. Finish, take, because the did is what expresses the past simple. Okay, we're okay there. Hajar, would you like to give it a shot? Maybe not necessarily a question, maybe a straightforward statement, if you want.
Okay. I went to beach. There I met with my friends, and we played tennis.
Okay, well, let me see here. I went, past tense, I went to, first of all, the beach. Okay, we always say the beach. All right, I went to the beach. Okay, the problem there, I meet with my friends. Okay, it has to be past tense.
Yes.
So there I met with my friends and we played tennis. This would be a little, see, normally this would be two sentences. There I met, okay, you would normally do this. There I met my friends and we played tennis. If you wanted to connect them, the normal way to connect them would be to do this. Where? Okay.
Okay.
Where I met with my friends and we played tennis. All right. Okay, it's slightly different, but this is okay here. All right. I went to the beach where I met with my friends and we played tennis. Okay. It's obvious that you met your friends first and then after you played tennis, because you don't play tennis by yourself generally. Okay, that's fine. All right. Let's look at another possible use of the past simple past. It can be used to show duration. Now, of course, normally we think of showing duration, we should be thinking about using a continuous verb tense. However, occasionally it can be used to show duration with something that starts and stops. Again, it's finished, it's in the past. Looking at the diagram, it has no relationship to the present. We often indicate that duration by phrases like for 2 years, all year, all day, for 5 minutes. For example, I lived in Brazil for 2 years. Shona studied Japanese for 5 years. So we can mention a duration of time with the past simple to make it obvious how long that action lasted. They did not stay at the party for the entire time, for 30 minutes. Notice that in this usage, in order to pull this off, notice that every one of these examples has a time phrase which shows duration. Okay, they sat at the beach all day. Now, of course, I can say they sat at the beach. Shauna studied Japanese. I lived in Brazil. Okay, but that simply shows that the action is finished. By adding the time phrase, you're turning it into you're changing it from this. Okay, it's done. By adding, all you're really doing is adding a time phrase to that number one and turning it into this. That's basically it. We waited for 1 hour. Very common. Okay, I think we can try this real fast. Tatiana, any kind of sentence, positive, negative, question, whatever you'd like, and stick a time phrase in there to show duration.
I went to weekly lesson last Monday. I went to weekly lesson.
Weekly?
Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
No, weekly.
Sorry, again? W?
A moment.
Oh, I lost you. I didn't hear you because of a connection problem, I think. Could you repeat it? Tatiana, have I lost you?
Yes, weekly lesson or lesson.
It's not weekly? It's not the word
Yes.
you're...
No, weekly. Weekly is your name.
Is my name? It is?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Weekly lesson.
Okay. My name is Oakley. Oakley.
Oakley. Yes, I went to weekly lesson last Monday.
Okay. I see. Okay. Okay. Last Monday, but if you want to show duration, for example, you might say for 1 hour. Okay. All right. So you can, all right, it's a finished action in the past, and you can show the duration simply by adding a time phrase there. All right. And Tatiana, Oakley, one vowel sound, O.
Oakley.
Like saying the letter O. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, O. Okay. L, M, N, O, P. Oak. Like that.
Oakley. Okay.
That's it. You got it now. All right. Thank you. Christian.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just finish action. Stick on a time phrase to show duration.
Yeah. I went to USA last year, and I worked for Microsoft, for example, during 15 days.
Okay, wait a minute. All right. Wait a second. I went to USA last year. Okay, that's fine. And, okay, you're creating a compound sentence by giving me a new subject, but that is perfectly fine. And I worked for Microsoft during 15 days. We do not use during this way. We use during to show that two things happened at the same time. So you could say, for example, during my visit, during my stay. All right.
Okay, but if you want to say, for example, I worked during 15 days in the same phrase, for example.
Then you would say 4.
4. Okay, 15 days.
Okay. Yes. 15 days. Yes, and that is fine. And that obviously shows. Actually, both of these possible phrases show that there was duration. If you actually use the word during, that shows duration. They are related words. So, yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Thank you. Hajar? All right. Simple past, stick in a time phrase. So I know you're talking about a specific time.
How many years did you study?
Okay. Whoops. How many years did you study? Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, obviously the question is about a duration of time, clearly. Notice the construction here. How many is the interrogative question, phrasal interrogative. Okay. And then years, the question's about years. And then did you study? Then we have the did and you study. Okay, I guess this is about duration. The question's about duration. All right. Okay. All right. Similar to this. How long did you wait for them? How many years did you study? Okay, the question is directly about duration. So, okay, good job. All right, great. Well, on yet another function of past simple to talk about habits in the past. Okay. Now, all right, it can be used to describe a habit which stopped in the past, having the same meaning as used to, but I'll tell you right now, used to is not a verb tense, but it might as well be because it is used, it is greatly used by English speakers. I would always, 100% of the time, I would opt for used to describe a habit which stopped in the past. Frankly, this use that we're about to discuss, I would never do, quite honestly, but we might as well learn that it's possible. If we're going to use simple past to show this habit in the past, to make it clear, we have to add other expressions like always, often, when I was a child, when I was younger, when I was in school, or some such extra information to make it clear. Otherwise, it just seems like one solitary action in the past. For example, all right, the first one is quite clear. I studied French when I was a child. Well, we know when it happened. We know you don't study French anymore, and it's very obvious. The second one, however, if you said this to me, he played the violin, I really don't know if he did this as a habit or if he did it one time at a party or something and then never did it again. All I know is that this is a finished action. I have no idea without some kind of extra information. This is very ambiguous. If you were to just say this, I would not even know what you're talking about. He played the violin. When? I would immediately, if I heard this, I would immediately ask, when? What are you talking about? When did he play the violin? Without any defining phrases like always or often or usually or when I was a child or something, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and it really is unsuccessful at expressing this idea of a habit in the past. Instead, really, what I would do, myself, he used to play the violin. Now it becomes quite obvious that this was a habit and he doesn't do it any longer. Next one is also equally completely ambiguous. I don't really know what you're saying there. Okay, did you play a musical instrument when you were a kid? Oh, that makes it obvious. Okay, she worked at the movie theater after school. Okay, I can figure out that this is something she probably did regularly. All right, they never went to school. Well, never and always. They always skipped class. Okay, I can tell. I need some help to pull this off. Let's try it off. Try it out. I mean, try it off. Try it out. Tatiana. Okay, so remember to add some kind of expression to show me that something like used to happened in the past over and over again.
I studied German when I was young.
Okay, great. That's it. All right. Great. That's obvious it happened in the past, and you did it more than one time. All right. Christian.
Yes, I have one example. I walked.
Walked or worked?
Walked. No,
Worked.
walked.
Okay, like this. Worked.
No,
Worked.
walked. I walk, by feet,
Okay. Walked.
Sorry. Sorry.
Again.
All along the watchtower, for example.
Okay,
No?
Jimmy.
Yeah, you know this song, yeah?
Obviously, I do. Yeah, I love Hendrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
The watchtower.
Watchtower, one word? Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, this one, yeah.
I walked all along the watchtower. Okay. What
When I
else?
was when I was no when yes when I was young when I was well yeah yes when I was young yes
Okay.
I think is
Okay. That's fine. When I was young. Okay. When I was in Spain. Whatever. Okay. I walked all along the watchtower. Okay. One thing to note, Christian, is pronunciation. Okay. When the verb ends, past tenses, when the verb ends with a voiceless consonant, like there's no sound. There's no sound. It's like when the verb ends with a voiceless sound, the ed is pronounced as a t. So worked.
I worked.
Right. Skip, okay, is another example. The P sound. There's no sound. Skipped. Yes.
Skipped.
Exactly. Walked. Same
Walked.
thing.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
You're welcome. Hajar. You want to try this? All right. Kind of.
I played soccer when I was in school.
Whoops. What am I doing? Okay. All right. When I was in school. There we go. Yeah. That's... Okay. I played soccer when I was in school. Okay. Again, you could always say I used to play soccer. All right. It's okay, and it's not wrong if you want to define it. I used to play soccer when I was in school. That's okay as well. Okay. Use number 5, another common use, to talk about past facts or generalizations, which, by the way, are no longer true. Notice the diagram, the blue line, the fact is not a fact anymore. It ends before the present. Okay. It's another use of the simple past, very close to what we just did. So also, you're going to be using phrases or time words to show, to clarify it. So she was shy, here it is, as a child. But now she's very outgoing. Okay, he didn't like tomatoes before. You have to add some kind of time word to pull this off. Did you live in Texas when you were a kid? All right, when you were a kid. Same idea. People paid much more to make cell phone calls, again, in the past. The only way to pull this off, just like the one earlier, the only way to pull it off is to use some kind of time expression. You have to. basically, it's the same thing as the one we just did. So, okay, so I'm going to move on because I have some other important information for you about clauses and when clauses, which you guys have been using them in the class and seen examples. These are used a lot in English. This happens a lot in conversational, normal English. Clauses, of course, refer to groups of words. You have phrases, which are short groups of words, clauses, which are longer. In fact, an independent clause is also known as a sentence. A dependent clause needs another independent clause to form a sentence. So sentences are made up of often 2 or 3 clauses. It's common. All right. When clauses are very common in English. Okay. A couple examples. When I dropped my pen, when class began. All right. All right. For example, when I paid her $1, she answered my question. She answered my question when I paid her $1. Okay. In this first sentence here, Christian, what happens first here?
When I,
yeah.
The action is when I paid $1. I paid $1. It's the past, you know.
Right. So
She
which happens first? Paying her, or
Yes.
she answered? All right. That's right. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the paying her $1 happened
She
first.
answered. Yeah.
Yeah. She answered my question when I paid her $1. Okay. This is a dependent clause and an independent clause. She answered my question as a full sentence or independent clause. Couple things to notice. Notice this independent clause can be in the front. First, when you're writing, you need to have a comma. You can equally put this dependent clause in the back of the sentence, and it's the same thing is true. First you paid $1, then answered the question. The meaning does not change at all. I notice, however, that I do not need a comma if I put it second. Okay, no problem to move it around. It doesn't change the meaning, doesn't change the fact that first you paid and then she answered.
Okay.
Okay. All right. When clauses are important because they always happen first when both clauses are in the simple past. Okay. All right, we just talked about that. However, hold that thought. Just one moment. However, going to show you an example that has a different meaning. For example, if I change the question around and put when with the other clause, I paid her $1 when she answered my question. All right, Hajar. Now, which happened first? She answered the question. Ah, okay. All right. So she answered my question first. Then I gave her $1. See how that works? All right. So when clauses are used to join 2 ideas, okay, notice I have a new subject noun, she, all right, forming 2 clauses, totally different subject noun, I in one clause and she in the other clause. Okay. All right, so there you go. When you join 2 clauses with when, that's whichever clause has the when, that's the first action. Okay, another note about adverb placement in past simple sentences. We very often add adverbs to show frequency or when something happened. Adverbs like always, only, never, ever, still, just. Excuse me. Okay, the proper placement of those adverbs is here, just in front of the main verb. Okay, even in a question, did you just call Debbie? You didn't. Okay, in a negative, you didn't just call Debbie. Okay, maybe, whatever. Notice the placement, always right in front of the verb. Okay, always remember that this is the safe place to put an adverb if, of course, the adverb is meant to modify the verb. How did you call her? Just, as in just now. That's where it belongs, right in front of the verb. Sometimes it is possible to move an adverb around in a sentence, but sometimes that will change the meaning of the sentence. Sometimes it will not work at all. Sometimes it will make the sentence meaningless. It's always safe to put it here. Again, I need to stress when the adverb is meant to go with the verb. We also use adverbs, don't forget. We use adverbs to modify other adverbs, and we use adverbs to modify adjectives. In those cases, those are easy. They can't be moved at all. An adverb used with an adjective goes right in front of the adjective. An adverb with another adverb goes right in front of the adverb. It can't be moved around in the sentence at all. Okay. Here we go. Time to look at the passive. Okay. An active sentence, we actually care who did the action, as in Tom repaired the car. All right, we know that this is a finished action in the past. We actually care who did it. In a passive sentence, we don't care who did the action. The car was repaired by Tom. The action happens to the subject noun, the car. As always, in the passive form, the main verb, here, repair, is going to be the past participle. All passive sentences, the main verb will be the past participle. The was here is actually what kind of indicates the verb tense itself. Here, the past simple. So the car, okay, the car was repaired by Tom. This is the form of the verb. So the action happened to the car. There it is. Let's see if we can try to form a passive sentence. Tatiana, you want to give this a try? Using the model of this second one here with the passive.
Okay, active. Jack London wrote many stories.
Okay, that's active. You said
Yes.
many
And
stories. Don't forget the plural.
Stories, many
Yeah.
stories, yes. And
Okay.
many stories many stories were written by Jack London.
Okay. You need the past participle. Do you know the past? Written. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Written by Jack London.
Okay. Now, this is an extremely common use of the passive past simple. This is extremely common. To talk about authors, artists, who wrote this, who painted that, who built this, who did this or that. This is a very common and practical use of the passive. So, great. Good example. Thank you. Christian, you want to give it a try?
Yeah. With the irregular verb is John drove. John drove carefully.
All right. Oh. Well, yeah, that's an active sentence. I don't know how you're going to... Okay.
And the technician was fixing the computer.
Okay, the technician was fixing the computer.
Fixed.
Okay. Again with the x, fixed.
Fixed.
Yeah. The verb fix also ends with a s sound, an s sound, which again is unvoiced. So again we have fixed. All right, but hang on a second. The technician fixed the computer. If you want to make this passive, the action needs to happen to the computer, right? So, Christian, the computer
was fixed by the technician.
That's it.
Yes.
Fixed
by
the
the technician. Yes.
And again, it is common, but not necessary, to add a prepositional phrase using the preposition by if you want to show who did it. But it's totally not. It's not necessary. It's still a sentence. Just the computer was fixed. We may add a different prepositional phrase. For example, in the morning. Okay, to show time. Maybe we added totally different. We don't care who fixed it. We just care that it was fixed. Maybe we add a different at the shop to show place. Okay. We don't know the guy who fixed it. We don't know his name. We don't know who he is. Just the guy that works at the shop. Who cares? The computer was fixed at the shop. All right. Great. So, okay, another common use of using the passive because we don't know who works at the shop. And frankly, we don't care. All we really care about is that the computer got fixed.
Okay.
All right, so great. Bashar, you want to give it a try here? Bashar?
Yes, my mother cooked the dinner. The dinner was cooked by my mother.
Okie doke. All right, well, there you go. You're just, again, simply reversing the object noun and making it into the subject noun. Sure, there you go. One thing of note here, Hajar, okay, it's not necessarily wrong to say the dinner, but if you do say the dinner in both of your sentences here, then my understanding is you were talking about some very, very specific dinner, probably some special dinner, a birthday dinner or holiday dinner or something like that. Okay, and you really would only use the dinner in a kind of a secondary sentence after, okay, we had a very special dinner on the holiday. My mother cooked the dinner, like that. That is where you would use the with dinner. If you're talking about every day, every normal day, normal life, my mother cooked dinner, or my mother cooked dinner last night. You don't use the. So for meals, generally speaking, unless we're speaking of one extremely specific, already defined meal, we don't use the. And that goes for breakfast, lunch, supper, dinner. All right, we don't need an article. My mother cooked breakfast.
We say dinner was cooked by my mother.
Yes. Yes, this is perfectly fine. Dinner was cooked by my mother. Okay. Yeah, it's no problem at all. Instead of saying the dinner. This is more normal. It is possible to use the, but it's not necessary. Okay, anybody have any questions about past simple? Any parts of this that were confusing? We might.
No, we need to digest this information now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay. How about this? How about we've got just a couple minutes. Tatiana, you want to try making a when clause sentence with two clauses, just for fun? We've got a couple minutes.
A moment. When I drank one glass of wine, he told me this story.
He told me his story. Is that it? Okay. When I drank one glass of wine, he told me his story. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. That's interesting.
Yes, his story. Yes, his story.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, okay, I have a natural inclination here. I can't help myself to do this. When I had drunken, I might do this in this case. Now, what you did is not wrong. Again, it's following the rules we already learned. It's okay to use two clauses, both with past simple, to show one action happen than the other. But I could also do this. I could make it past perfect to more or less emphasize the idea that this happened first and then this happened. And also, by making it past perfect, I'm kind of emphasizing the idea that you finished the glass of wine. It was a finished action when he started to tell his story. Makes it just a little bit clearer that the glass of wine was done when he began to tell his story. And that's the past perfect there. But there's nothing wrong, strictly speaking, of your approach here either. Okay. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. So digest away. I'll give you 23 hours to digest, and then tomorrow we'll be looking at future simple. So I hope you can join me for that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.